Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the money, 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 money. I get that fast money in a. I get that fast money in a. Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am your host, Nick Fiorentino, and alongside me, as always, supporting breast cancer awareness for another week is Sir. Sir, how we doing today, buddy?
Not too bad, my man. Not too bad.
You got a win on a Sunday night, so how?
You know what I'm saying? That was the best bet. I'm glad to get wrong. You know what I'm saying?
The quarterback controversy is over.
It lasted all of about 2 minutes. You know.
That's it. Of course, we also have Prime Time, a.k.a. Big Time, Tim Secor. Tim, how we doing?
Doing good, fellas. Doing good, fellas. The Jets still suck, and, I'm doing pretty good with my best bets, so let's keep another week going.
Let's keep winning some money. And, of course, our special guest for this week, softball buddy, bowler buddy. I think you play do you play every sport, Latch?
Probably more than you guys. I got a golf trophy in the background I won last weekend.
There you go. And the treadmill. So you're running laps. And you're a Red Bulls fan too?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But anyway, our special guest for this week.
They're the best football team out of all of our teams in this conversation right now.
This might be true. Is Chris Lechowski. Chris, how we doing, buddy?
Not bad, not bad. I'm the only guy that has a team with a winning record, and I'm not happy about it because I hate Tom Brady. But we can get into that later.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. But, guys, as always, this is Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, and you can find us on Twitter at SBFS. Yep, show. This is off the cuff, off the top of my head, and we've already started drinking. So, but no, you can find us on Twitter at SBFS Show, our initial show, and also on Instagram. And we are part of the True Exact Radio family. And as always, you can find us on True Exact Radio, which you need to search for YouTube, and we'll be on Wednesdays, and of course on iTunes on Thursdays. And True Exact, all one word, spelled TRUEXACT Radio. You could find them on Twitter at that same whatever it's called on Twitter and Instagram, True Exact Radio. So they have a show on Friday. They'll be talking to New York music producer, film sound engineer Vinny Alfano. They've had some pretty good shows as of late. I've been checking them out. On Friday, that episode drops. And again, for Halloween, they're going to have a demonologist on in a couple weeks, which should be pretty entertaining. And on Mark's side of the ring with myself and Miguel Minetti, off the episode with PJ North, which I think has been our best episode so far. We'll be recapping this week in WWE and AEW. Off the draft, we're starting to see some new matches being lined up, so it should be fun. And maybe we'll talk about the fact that guys in the UFC are using the Judas effect to knock people down, to knock zombie down. But anyway, so yep, we'll get into it with football as always. There's a lot of stories obviously breaking today, and won't be new news for you guys. Checking the show out tomorrow is that Tua, it is officially Tua time in Miami. And it's kind of weird timing because it looks like Fitzmagic is actually leading them into a potential playoff run. And I can't even imagine what, winning the division, the odds would have been for Miami. But here they are, only a game out. I mean, it's certainly within their realm. And they must think that they have a legitimate shot if they're going to Tua, although I think Fitz might be the better fit for them. What do you guys think of the fact that they're switching, coming off a big win against the Jets, and they're switching to Tua Tagovailoa?
It doesn't make any sense to switch to Tua at this point, outside of the fact that maybe they don't want to win. They want to lose and acquire better picks. I don't. It makes no sense to me why you would make the move right here. With Fitz playing, as good as he is, it only makes sense if they're trying not to win. They're doing what the Jets are doing, just not very well, because Jets are the best losing team in football for sure.
Here's the one thing on Miami that I'll say. I kind of agree, but like Miami's defense is actually pretty decent. Like they've played, and I know they've played some bad teams, but like they're really not a bad team. They're definitely in between, and with the draft picks that they have going into next year, they should be a pretty damn good team. We'll see, but I don't understand why they're making the switch right now, and I actually feel bad for Fitzpatrick because he has been playing really well. Of course, he beat the Jets. I get it. Like, everybody's beating the Jets. But they actually seem like they're a better – and I guess we'll see what Tua Tagovailoa is because he only handed the ball off a bunch of times, and I think he threw one slant route or one out route or whatever. So he didn't really do much. But I guess it remains to be seen. Sir, Latch, what do you guys think?
So as a guy who has experienced Fitzmagic with his own team, when the spell runs out, the pirate ship crashed real hard. So the Miami may be smartly pulling the punch before they get blasted, and he has like a 5-interception game, which he's known to have. While they have a good record right now, they haven't beaten anybody good. So they may be evaluating, say, like, all right, we've won 4 games, but based on the way we're playing, we're not going to win another 5. Depending on who they're playing. You know, no offense to you guys, but the Jets are garbage. And when they played the Niners didn't have everybody, you know? So, like, they're not really proving anything. You know, Fitz has been having good games against so-so teams. So while it is kind of weird, I having been on the side where, you know, Fitz just fell apart after having like a 4-game record-breaking start a couple of years ago, you never know.
I think I agree with you more than I agree with Tim. I think it's just because I think their defense is pretty decent, and they are only a game out. They certainly are within the idea of competing for a playoff spot, and with the expanded amount of teams, they certainly have a shot. I think that making the switch, to your point, might be because they are in win now mode versus tank mode.
So you're telling me that all of a sudden, 5 weeks in, 6 weeks into the season, Tua now gives them the best chance to win. Why wouldn't they just play him from week 1? You think after just 6 weeks, all of a sudden he's magically ready to be the NFL quarterback? It just doesn't. Logically, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how much you can learn by sitting on the bench for only 6 weeks versus just getting thrown into the action right from week 1. And getting your feet wet, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, preseason didn't help, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is the preseason with the whole COVID issue? Like, he didn't have the reps, he didn't have the rookie mini camp, he didn't have any of those things. He's now had 6 weeks to at least get some reps and do some things in practice. I think he may have been starting way earlier, maybe even at the beginning of the season, if he had gotten all those reps in. That didn't happen because of COVID. So I think maybe they're seeing signs in practice that they think he's ready because they couldn't get him ready on a normal schedule.
Does anyone know what the line is for their game coming? They have a bye this week. So is there any early lines for the week after or no?
They released them, but I didn't really get a chance to check them out.
I can get it pretty quickly. Well, sir, what do you think?
I'm on the fence on this one. Like, I feel I agree with what Let's saying about the Fitzmagic, actually running out, like the magic running out. But, like, I mean, he's on a 2-game winning streak right now. Like, why not, keep riding that horse and then eventually go to Tua? I mean, yes, you drafted Tua early, so he was going to be eventually the starter, in due time. But figured keep riding that horse. But
they're out on a bye this week, aren't they?
Yeah,
right.
Next week.
The lines are out in Vegas, but I don't have enough to go on there and look at it for 2 weeks out, but there's no line on the website. So one team that doesn't have quarterback controversy because their starting quarterback is hurt is the Dallas Cowboys, and they are. I'll be the first one to say, and I was wrong, and I have no problem saying it. I was taunted by multiple Dallas Cowboys fans that I laid the whammy on them by thinking that the Red Rocket was going to be anything more than what he was. And honestly, although I still don't think much of the Arizona Cardinals, Andy Dalton was terrible. And honestly, I watched the first half of the game, and there were multiple drop passes by defenders. Like, he could have had even more picks than the two that he had. So I think the biggest winner in all of this is Dak Prescott, because they absolutely need him. Like, if he comes back healthy, he's getting paid, because who the hell else do they have? And they didn't really value Dak like they valued other quarterbacks in that draft, and they settled on Dak. But, I mean, just looking at Dak Prescott, like, that offense was horrible. And I know Zeke fumbled twice, and 4 turnovers. You're not going to win many games with 4 turnovers. But, yeah, I mean, Dak, the biggest winner yesterday was Dak Prescott to me.
Yeah, he sure didn't get any help from it. His receivers dropped a couple passes. Zeke fumbled the ball twice, never really happens. I would have loved to see how the game would have played out, without those 2 early fumbles where, they kind of went away from Zeke, and you saw what happened when the game gets one-dimensional. I mean, that could happen to any quarterback. It just happened to happen to the backup. And, I mean, honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen exactly like that. But, like I said, these guys are backups in the NFL for a reason. And, yeah, it just clearly showed that they're not the same, not even close to being in the same realm, Red Rocket and Dak.
I don't know if it's all on Dalton, though. I mean, yeah, he didn't play well, but again, the defense still couldn't stop nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dak was able to cover up some holes. Like, he would put up 40, the defense would give up 35. Now, is Andy Dalton putting up 40? I don't think so. So now defense gives up 31. Dalton scores, 3s, 10, whatever?
Well, how about this,
It
too?
should have been 3, but
You made mention that you don't put it all on Dalton. How about the report that came out today that players on the Dallas Cowboys are coming out saying that the coaches are just not good at their job? Like, they're not prepared. They don't know what they're doing.
I heard the coach, McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy.
He came out and said, we came into this game more prepared than any other game.
I mean,
man, bruh.
Yeah, I heard that too. That was hilarious.
He said, was prepared?
He's had fucking Aaron Rodgers forever. Like, he doesn't have to prepare the offense. All he has to do is sit there with the headset on and be like, all right, Aaron, what do you want to do this play? Nope, sounds good. Great. And that's it. That's all he did for the last however many years. And now you put him in a situation where, he has to make some decisions and dial up, some sort of offense. And it didn't look too good. Yeah, it's one game. Well, let's see what they do next week. And we can, make fun of them more, or say that we were wrong and Red Rocket's the best thing since Dak Prescott,
I appreciate the Red Rocket for one thing, giving me the win over you in fantasy football because of the Amari Cooper touchdown late.
Brother, that killed me. Two leagues. I went from an 8-1 fantasy week to a 6-3 fantasy week because fuck Amari Cooper. He's on my now do not play list. I won't even. If I see him anywhere, I get so upset.
You go punch him in his face on site?
No, I'm not going to punch him in the face. Kick my ass, goddammit. But
Timmy can't jump that high.
You're talking about punching me in the face?
No, not you. Yeah, you're good.
I was going to say, why are you going to beat me up? I didn't do it.
No, Amari Cooper told.
Oh, yeah, you can punch him in the face. That's fine. I don't.
Yeah, that'll get me really far.
So I have a soft spot for the Red Rifle, not the Red Rocket, which is his appropriate nickname.
I like calling him the Red Rocket.
Yeah, we know why. But he actually, I won a fantasy championship with him like 4 years ago.
15 years ago? Come on now.
I punted on quarterback and built a stacked team, and then literally picked him up, and he just did okay. He finished the 13th best quarterback or something that season, and I won the league. And I changed my team name to the Red Rifles in his honor.
Hey, Nick, before I forget, man, we forgot to plug this at the top of the show. The $25 big time bets went over again. Goddamn, you guys got to get smarter than us. Put some goddamn winning bets in. I'm trying to give this money away. Let's see. Eddie put one in. Kyle, Danny, Mr. E, you all suck. Just put it out there. It costs $0 to enter. I don't care where. Just tag me in it on Twitter. I'll find it. Tag the show. Let's get some more entries. I want to actually have to do a raffle. That means I need more than one person to actually hit a 3-team parlay. I'll even let you 3 bums in it if you want this week. It doesn't matter.
It's not easy to do, but I will say that it's one of those things where if you jump in, you got to be in it to win it, right? You gotta jump in. You gotta put your.
Who doesn't like free money?
We'll see. Yeah, right. Free money, right?
Cost you $0. All you got to do is like us and put your picks in. That's it. It's really simple to do. Apparently other people know how to do it, so I don't know why you wouldn't just jump on the train. Maybe you just are a little embarrassed to get picks wrong, but, I mean, you listen to us week in and week out, and we still come back firing at you.
We still here.
That's it. You ain't gonna embarrass yourself. The only thing you're gonna do is have your chance to win free money, or at least a free bet.
Yep, and then maybe we'll have you as a guest on the show, or if you've been on the show, maybe we'll have you back on again. Maybe you'll be a regular. Who knows? I got to get into Tampa Bay, who absolutely demolished Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Watch, as a Tampa Bay fan, I mean, I know Brady didn't have to do a lot to win it, but it's hard to believe that you're not a big supporter of your team right now.
So I love 54 of the guys. I even love Gronk, but I cannot stand Tom Brady. He's probably my least favorite professional athlete of all time. He's a cheater. He just rubs me the wrong way. I can't stand him. I hate that they could have kept Jameis Winston and had another $30 million to spend on other players, because he hasn't done anything special to win any of the 3 games, and you could put the blame on the New Orleans game loss on him, and same with the Bears game, because he couldn't even count how many downs there were left on the first drive. So I would rather still have Winston at 25 and another $30 million to spend on other players. You know what I mean? So it drives me nuts. So I'm like, I watch the games and I'm just like low key, like I like everything except when Brady does something good. It bothers me. I can't stand the guy. And I couldn't even, me and Timmy were talking about it one day, and I was trying to compare. The closest comparison I could imagine would be like if you're a Yankee fan and like Dustin Pedroia came to play for the Yankees. Like, that's how much I hate Tom Brady. So like, it's a struggle. We beat the Packers. My best friend's a Packers fan. I didn't even talk to him about the game and talk trash because like I don't care. It's frustrating. They're gonna win the Super Bowl and I'm gonna be like, yay, we won with a cheater at quarterback.
Somebody, I think it was, who was it? I think it was Chris Sims, who I don't really take as somebody who makes a lot of sense or has logical opinions. Said that the Tampa Bay Bucks are the most complete team in the NFC. Do you agree? And, sir, why do you think that the Seattle Seahawks are the most complete team in the NFC?
First of all, wait a minute. To be complete, you got to be good in all 3 sides, right? Does Seattle have a good defense?
Nope.
Thank you. They're not the most complete team, all right? So watch your mouth.
Just real quick, out of curiosity, is Tom Brady your least favorite professional athlete?
Yeah.
Tim, who's your least favorite professional athlete?
I don't know. I got too many.
What about you, sir? Who you got?
That's tough.
I know
recently
it's
been Russell Wilson recently, but
I think my least favorite professional athlete is probably Chase Utley. As a Mets fan, I know I'm kind of weird because I'm wearing Philly stuff, but I hate Chase Utley.
All right.
No,
don't worry. I hated Derek Jeter for quite a long time, so I can understand, hating somebody who's kind of okay.
Well, Jeffrey Mayer became an athlete, didn't he? Or no?
I fucking hate that dude.
There you go. Jeffrey Mayer.
That's the homie right there, man. Jeffrey Mayer.
Yeah. Where were fucking replays? Goddamn, 25 years ago, motherfucker. Jeter. We don't even know who Derek Jeter is if he doesn't fucking get that lucky home run, right? God damn. Why don't get me excited right now?
So I agree. The thing with me is there are a lot of guys I've disliked in my day, but like if they do great things, they have earned my respect slowly over time. Like David Ortiz is a guy I respect, even though I hate the Red Sox.
Yeah, even though he's a fucking cheater too.
He is too. You're right, but he was breaking rules that didn't exist. So like it is what it is. Everybody was cheating, and he's not at the top of the list. But Brady, it's just blatant. I just can't stand him for that stuff. And then some of his wins got handed to him. The Falcons handed him a Super Bowl. The Seahawks handed him a Super Bowl. Like, it just annoys the hell out of me.
I kind of like David Ortiz because he threw me a baseball at the World Baseball Classic.
Did you catch it?
Big Papi.
We've seen you play softball. Did you catch it?
I did. I wouldn't have been able to hit it, but I caught it. Anybody have anything else on?
Yeah, well, just besides the hate for Tom Brady, if Ronald Jones keeps running the ball the way that he does, that Tampa Bay offense runs through him, and he's been outstanding the past couple games. And if they it'll be weird when Fournette gets healthy and comes back, because I don't think Ronald Jones deserves to lose any of the touches that he's averaging over five yards a carry, and he's just been a stud.
Yeah, he's been a surprise. I wasn't a huge proponent of him, but you never know what's going to happen, so you always need more running backs. So it'll be good to have Fournette there. But yeah, going back to what you said, like the complete team, it's their defense. Todd Bowles, thank you, Timmy, for Todd Bowles. He's turned that defense around, man.
Everybody gets better when they leave the Jets.
I think Rodgers got hit more times in the first quarter on Sunday than he had the first 4 games of the season, or something crazy like that. Like their D is legit. So
I think their defense.
It's shown when you throw Rodgers. Go ahead. No.
You go.
I would say it's shown when you throw Rodgers a physical defense, he doesn't really play as well. I mean,
the blitz heavy defense had him on his ass a couple times for sure.
I think they're the best defense in football. I would go
big words.
But the Steelers are pretty good too.
Yeah,
they are.
The Steelers are up there too. Buffalo is decent.
Buffalo can't stop the run. Did you see Clyde Edwards-Helaire yesterday? They can't stop the run at all.
Yeah, but they were
when you got Patrick Mahomes back there, you got to guard against him. Not the
exactly. You have to key against stopping Mahomes and hope you can stop the run when you're playing against Kansas City.
Which is fair, but they also couldn't stop Darrell Henderson either.
Over under 50 yards rushing for the Jets this weekend. I'd probably keep the under.
Oh, man, Frankie, come on.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, they're probably going to be out of it in the first quarter, and they're going to be throwing the ball more than running it anyway. I don't know. Well,
and you all take it easy on my boys. All right, we haven't covered this spread yet, and I don't think 12.5 is enough either. But I'm still not betting against them or betting for them. Fuck the Jets.
I saw in Vegas the following week they were already
minus
21 against Kansas City. Minus 21 against Kansas City.
Oh,
do they cover that?
No,
they definitely do not. Listen. I made money on a Jets game this year where I bet an in-game line of minus 27.5 at the start of a fourth quarter and covered that bet. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you watch the game and you keep in betting and making more money and more money. Every time they score, you go, if the Jets happen to score, you bet against them again right after that. Like, it's crazy.
How does Adam Gase still have a job?
Well, that's the biggest question. He should. I mean, they're the only team right now in the NFL. I believe we heard on TV. They're the only team in the NFL to be shut out this year.
You bring up Adam Gase, and I was thinking about this. Why does he have a job in period? The Dolphins fired him, and a week a week before he got hired? Like, why did they just hire him? Like, what has he done to deserve that?
Peyton Manning called him, said that he he was a good coffee runner or something. I don't know.
Another fucking Manning that I can't stand. Maybe that's the most hated athlete. Eli Manning. I fucking hate that guy. Yeah. I don't know why.
That's fair.
Listen, he makes some funny-ass commercials, but I fucking hate him. I don't know if I hate him because the fans are all down on their knees just like – but yeah. I fucking hate him. I don't know.
Well, wait, sir. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion. How'd you hate him?
I say it's not a PJ show. I say fuck all the time. But send your hate tweets to
at Big Time TS.
All right, you guys want to
with Gase real quick, sir. I think you mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Like, it should have been proven when guys started leaving Miami and doing well. Like Ryan Tannehill's like
he's balling.
MVP candidate in Tennessee. he proved in Miami he's not head coach worthy, and why they're still hanging on with him, I don't know.
No, but like the Dolphins fired him, and like
Right.
a team in the division fired him, and the Jets were knocking on down his door to get him. Like,
Yeah,
bring him in as the coordinator. If you want to know, like, what he thinks of the Dolphins, bring him in as a coordinator, not the head coach. I mean, he started off in the first fucking interview like, with his eyes wide, like, fucking so stupid. It's like, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah, we got coach of the future. It's fucking this offensive guru putting up the least amount of fucking points in all of football.
Nick and Sir, though, we got to start preparing the crisis response team, though, because when they fire him and announce Bill O'Brien as the new head coach GM, we're going to have to put Timmy on suicide watch.
I think I said that last week.
Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse?
Yeah, I mean, at least when he got rid of good players, he got, like, middling draft picks for them, didn't just let them leave. So, yeah, I mean, you're right.
Bill O'Brien would be just about worse.
Dan Quinn.
Well, at least we could bet against him then. Dan Quinn, we can make a lot of money on Dan Quinn.
Yeah, but would they give him the GM role? I don't think they would give him the GM role. Not after the latest. Not after that fucking debacle. No way.
No.
Who cares? Fuck it.
Anything else on last week before we get into the prime times?
Yeah, fuck Maury Cooper.
I'm glad Nick is not going to sing again, or I'd be bouncing out of here real fast. And do we get bars from Sir?
Yeah, we need a Sir rap.
Nope.
Sir
get
technically
bars?
half one.
Nope.
Give me a half bar, Sir.
Nope.
Like a Snickers bar.
Nope.
The fun size.
A Milky Way.
The little one, the fun size.
Not yet, fam. Not yet.
I don't understand why everybody thinks I'm not a good singer. I sang on 2 podcasts last week, and I was great. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Don't quit your day job, old boy.
Yeah, I don't know if the numbers prove that out.
Yeah.
Check the viewership. all of those podcasts were dropped like right around that time. That's when people started saying.
You ever hear of a thing called the toilet bowl, Nick? That's what you get for singing right there.
I'm trying to figure out how I can mute Latch real quick on the thing for offending me. Anyway, so all right, Thursday night football, we have the Giants at the Eagles. The Eagles are laying 4 points. Latch, we'll start with you. What do you think? Oh, the shot. Hold on. Timeout. Tim's pouring All right, so we got to do the shot. Who won? Tim?
Me and Sir tied. So we're due Rumplemans this week if Sir ever happens to win again.
Well, I do have Hennessy in the cup, so.
Oh, come on, old boy. All right.
Hey,
I told you I was
doing a double shot of vodka.
Yeah.
That's all I got in the house. So.
All right.
Salud.
All right, boys.
All right, Latch, what do you got in the game?
That's definitely Philly. 100% definitely Philly and the over, I think.
Okay.
I think Timmy got bit last week with the over-under in the Redskins-Giants game, right? Was that you?
Yeah, because they didn't go for fucking 2. If they don't go for 2 and just kick the extra point, unless
cover the over in
overtime
overtime
happens.
Or they tied 20-20 in overtime. That also was a possibility. So
that's what I was just saying. If a Sir bomb happens in an overtime tie, the over would have hit automatically.
But yeah, there's a pretty. This falls into my pretty simple system of how I've been making money this year, which is just bet against the Giants, the Jets, the football team, the Eagles. Like there's a short list of like teams that just generally aren't covering.
Well, Eagles covered last week, so suck it, Latch.
And sure. Yeah, I know they did, but I didn't like that game last week. I actually very fortunate last week. Couldn't get money into my account because something got screwed up when I used my William Hill in Atlantic City the weekend before. And it was great because it was the first week that I would have lost a ton of money. Like the last week was like the world would have burned for me. Nothing covered that I liked. The Ravens, so many games.
I knew at some point the Eagles were going to be losing, but I didn't know, what the final score would be. So I bet them. I bet the Ravens -4 first half and hit that. So I was happy with that. Sir, what do you got?
Like not for nothing, but like this will go into my pick. But the Giants have it like they've been losing, but they've been covering. I believe they're like 3-2, maybe 4-1 against the spread. So like they haven't been playing that bad. They just been again, like for my pick, I'm gonna go with the Giants +4, just because for that simple reason. And mainly, Nick, I feel bad for you, but more injuries. You're starting to catch up to my team. Miles Sanders is not playing this week. Zach Ertz is not playing this week. Added to the fact that like they got the car drivers as receivers. Like they have nobody left. Carson Wentz is out there running for his life. Give me +4, and I'll take the under 43 because I don't see either. It's going to be a 19-16 ball game.
The only starters on Philadelphia's offense are Carson Wentz and Jason Kelce. Every single other offensive starter is out. So, Tim, what do you got?
Miles, you said Miles Sanders isn't playing?
Yeah, he's not
Miles
playing.
Sanders busted his knee up last week.
They're planning on him being out. It's not official, but they're planning on him being out.
I'll put it to you this way. And this is where I'm coming from, and I'm taking Philly -4. You say the Giants have been playing close games. The Giants barely beat the football team. I mean, and that team is terrible.
Neither did the Eagles. The Eagles didn't beat the football team either.
They arguably should have lost that game, the Giants. They could have if they just get the extra point and play overtime. You say the Giants, or you say that the Philly is hurt. Yes, they should be getting back Goddard, who is, if you've seen Ertz play this year, is a massive upgrade. And they should be getting back Deshaun Jackson, which even though he may not be at maybe full 100% health, the defense still has a plan around him because even if he just runs deep, that's going to open up something for somebody else. Or they're going to leave him open and he's going to catch a big pass. I'm taking Philly -4. I'm taking over 43. I mean, the Giants have the ability to put up points. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know if it's their quarterback play. They just have been very, very inefficient with their offense. So I'm going to take Philly -4. I don't see a way that the Giants win the game, but if they do, sir, Hennessy sounds pretty good right now. If I take one more shot, we'll be good.
I agree with Tim on both counts. I would take Philly.
Of course you do.
I would take I've been historically pretty difficult on my team. I mean, I've been pretty hard on my team. But the whole thing with, like, the Washington football team, and I understand your point, the Eagles lost to them too, but it's hard to go by that. I mean, the Eagles beat the Niners beat the Rams, and the Rams beat the Eagles. So it's hard to go by, like, who's beating who. It's really what have you done for me lately in the league. I'll tell you that Lane Johnson, Deshaun Jackson, and Alshon Jeffrey all had limited practices today. So there's rumors that Goddard could be healthy in time, although I don't think he will be. So it looks like they're going to be healthier than what they were. Fulgham has actually been playing pretty well at wide receiver. Carson Wentz has been playing better. And their backup running back is Boston Scott, and all you have to do is look at what he did to the Giants both games last year against them. I just think that Philly is – and, Philly they're not a good team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think they are a good team. But they just missed on Baltimore, and they really, were a field goal away from taking the lead against Pittsburgh late. They're losing to good teams, really great teams. I just think they're the better team right now. I don't think the Giants are good at all. Tim?
And in the second half is when shit fell off the wheels, and that's when they started coming back. They started coming back after Miles Sanders got hurt. They started coming back, playing with the same group of players that are going to be playing this next game in a very short week. Although they lost, they have to get some sort of confidence from that. I mean, the Giants held on to win by the skin on their chinny chin chin, and I don't see the Giants coming out and beating the Eagles. The eye test. I didn't say.
Listen, the Eagles can win, just not by more than 4 points. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing that you have to remember too, and it's not so much the Eagle. Like, all right, I don't think the Eagles are a great team. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they are, but the Eagles' offense is better right now than the Giants' offense because of Jason Garrett. Like, Jason Garrett's a horrible offensive coordinator. Like, how they haven't figured out a way to get
You're talking about right now
Ingram.
without Ertz and Sanders?
I think the Eagles' offense will put up points. To Tim's point, they put up points against the Ravens without Miles Sanders.
The Ravens let their foot off the gas. They were kicking your behinds in the first half.
But at this point, all Ertz is a name. He's been terrible all year. What has Ertz been?
Miles Sanders has been running hard for you boys, man.
He has. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but Fulgham played great. I mean, there's certain aspects, and Carson Wentz has been playing really well too. I mean, it's kind of the next man up, and the fact that Deshaun Jackson, who is a legitimate Giants killer, I don't care that it's 2020, but getting Deshaun Jackson back, getting Lane Johnson back, Boston Scott is no slouch. Corey Clement scoring touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He's the backup running back. Like, it's not like they don't have guys that can put up points against the Giants. And I just
I just got one question. What is this world coming to when I'm defending the Giants? What is this world coming to?
I know. It's
I feel dirty just do
He must be hanging out with titties too much. What is wrong
not
with
even.
you?
So here's a quick number for you. I just did. The Giants have scored 101 points this season in 6 games. The 20 points they scored against the football team was the second highest point total they put up this year. The only one higher was when they lost to Dallas because they literally have like cellophane as a defense.
Yeah.
So,
I could see the game being like 28-14 or, 28-21. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to score enough points to beat them.
We'll see.
We want 28-17 for the over.
We want 24-20 for the over.
Well, Sir said it best. We will see.
We'll see.
But Sir will have the edge on us after Thursday night if the Giants do cover, because we're all picking the Eagles and he's picking.
Sir, I better see the fucking pay slip. I better see that bet you put in right now.
Sunday.
So.
Well, you bet in Philly?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to eliminate Viggs, I'll bet Philly too because I'm going to be putting money on them. So throw the dollars out there, sir.
I'm not betting either one of these teams,
brother. I didn't get my best bet.
Go ahead
As well, Timmy.
All right.
You guys,
the Giants are going to get mashed.
You guys froze up a little bit, but I think the ultimate point that we all want to make is that the Philly Eagles are going to win and fuck the Giants. But we're going to go to Sunday Night Football, where we're going to talk about Tom Brady, elite Tom Brady. I was waiting for Blatch to say something.
The GOAT.
So I'll give you a real quick another funny story. You guys have the honor of my presence right now because of COVID. Because if COVID hadn't happened, I would probably be in Tampa right now. A couple of my buddies and I do a football trip every year to a game, and we were leaning towards Bucks Packers on Sunday. We were going to go down and do that, and then I not everyone was going to come with me, but I was planning on staying and golfing in Florida for a little bit, and then going to Vegas next weekend to go see the new stadium and see the Bucks on Sunday Night Football, because I'd walk out of the stadium Sunday night and it would be my birthday Monday morning to tear it up. So I had this amazing trip planned for my birthday, and instead you guys get me because thank you, COVID.
Well, happy early birthday. That would have been a hell of a trip. That would have been fun.
Yeah, and it's miserable because the Bucks won't go back to Vegas for 8 years. So it's so frustrating that that's the way the calendar fell.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
I hadn't been to Raymond James yet, so I was literally gonna go get to see the Bucks at home for the first time, and then go see the new stadium in Vegas and rock out on my birthday in Vegas. And nope.
Well, let's hope 2021 is a fucking better year all around.
It
can't be worse.
Don't fucking say that.
How can it be worse?
Say that, sir. Knock on something.
Who fucking knows?
Unless it becomes something like 28 days later, I can't imagine it being worse than this year right now.
Now, the Giants could win the fucking Super Bowl. Eli Manning could come back in and throw touchdowns. I mean, things could get worse, Nick. They could get worse.
Say, if the Giants win the Super Bowl, I will win at least $2,000 because for some reason I bet them to win the Super Bowl, so I would be okay with that.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Year?
Before you were cheering for the Cowboys, now you bet the Giants. What's wrong with you, sir?
I thought that. Well, first of all, we're getting off topic. I made the bet.
Do you like throwing money away?
I made I had Josh Allen MVP at 40-1, by the way, also. So I've made some
Okay,
logical.
but you bet the Giants, really, sir? Come on.
I thought their offense was good enough with Jason Garrett. Who would have known that Jason Garrett was going to be so fucking terrible? I believed in Joe Judge, and I thought that with the additional playoff spot, all I needed them to do was win the division, and then I could just hedge the fuck out of the bet because it was only a $25 bet to win like $1,800. It just seemed logical at the time. The Giants have won 2 Super Bowls over the last 20 years, and they were not favored to win the Super Bowl in either of those years going into the season. So they get lucky at the right times.
You don't think Saquon's getting hurt either. I mean, they get the whole with injuries. It's just it's bad luck. I mean, listen, they can still win the division because the division is fucking trash cans.
They beat the Eagles this week, and they're right in it.
Even the Jets would have a chance of in that division right now.
Well, let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
Winner of Thursday's game going to be in first place? Isn't Thursday's game for first place? Or am I
Dallas still has first place.
Right for now.
Yeah. All right, Sunday we got the Bucks at Vegas. The Bucks are laying 3.5. Is that what we have, or 2.5?
2.5.
2.5, and the over-under is 53.5. So, Tim, we'll start with you. What do you have in this game?
I'm going to ride the hot train. I'm taking Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Although the Raiders came off a very, very, very good win against the Chiefs, I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I believe in their running game. If their running game gets hot early, it's going to open up the passing game. It's another week for both Godwin and Evans to get healthy. I don't think they've been healthy all season, to be honest. And now we saw Gronk last week finally get involved in the offense for the first time all year, and that's all they needed to beat Green Bay. I can't imagine what another week of health is going to do for the team as a whole to get better. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 2.5, and I'm going to take under 53.5.
I agree with both of your picks, and for the same reasons that you've stated already. I think riding Tampa Bay as the hot hand is the move to go. So I'm not going to go too further into it. Latch, who do you have in your team's game?
So yeah, I mean, I agree. I got to go with Tampa. They're playing very, very well. They may also, be getting some running back depth back, which will help as well. I don't know if I would bet it, but I would probably lean more towards the over than the under, just for the fact of while the Bucs defense is good, they're still susceptible to getting beat over the top a little bit, and the Raiders do have a couple speedsters, so I could see a couple big touchdown plays from Oakland that makes the game end up being more like 31-24 or something like that. So I probably would stay away from the over-under. If you gun in my head, I would probably go over. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bucs laying the 2.5.
Sir?
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady, man. He killed me last week. I thought Green Bay was coming in hot. They would not give him the business, but I thought they'd do work. And Brady says, "Nah, fam, I got something for you." Gronkowski woke up. He came from his little hibernation. He played well. Even though the Raiders killed me 2 weeks ago when they beat the Chiefs, but nah, give me Tampa Bay minus 2.5.
All right, and we have the Monday night game. Obviously, Chicago and my boy Nick Foles is at the Rams. Rams are laying 5.5 points, and the over/under is 45.5. What do we have in this game? And we'll start with Latch.
This is a toss-up for me, honestly. Like the Bears' offense is so inconsistent, but the Rams have just been overall inconsistent. I'd probably go Rams. Gun in my head, I'm going Rams, I guess.
All right, Tim, what do you got?
All right, I'll keep this short. Big Dick Nick. Give me the Chicago Bears getting 5.5. The Rams have played well and won games, but they haven't looked great. They were very inconsistent in their win last week. The QB and wide receiver connection missed a ton of big plays. That's not saying that in this week that's going to happen, but I think the Bears defense is for real. 45.5 is over under. I'm gonna go under, and that's just based on the defenses. I know Aaron Donald may wreak havoc on Nick Foles, and that's the one thing that scares me. But I don't see the Rams blowing them out. Chicago's a good overall team. Easy for me to say.
I'm taking Chicago. I just think that they're playing better. I mean, the Rams are kind of iffy as is. I just think they're getting them at the right time. This game was the hardest for me to kind of put my pick in on. Nick Foles could be so like hot or cold. It's hard to tell. And Jared Goff, I don't know. I mean, it's a hard game to pick. I'll say that, but I would take. It's certainly not a game that I would bet on outside of doing this. So but I do think that I'm going to take Chicago, getting 5.5 points. I mean, you're getting a team at the end of the day. You're getting a team that's 5-1, and you're getting points. I'm gonna take that. So we'll see what happens. We'll get into
interesting little note. So all the Rams wins this season, right, have come against the NFC least. Are the Bears in the NFC least? I didn't think so. Give me the Bears plus 5.5.
There you go. That is an interesting point. But you're right. I'm taking the Bears. We'll get into DFS now. We'll talk DFS. Well, let's rapid fire this just because we're running on time. But I'll start. I'm going Matt Ryan against Detroit for 6,700. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but Julio Jones being that important to Matt Ryan's success. Like I thought with the offense that they had, he would be able to show without Julio Jones. But obviously we see what he looks like with Julio Jones versus not having Julio Jones. And Julio Jones
is pretty good. I don't know if you know this.
He is, and I guess they double cover and that leaves the rest of the guys open. I don't know, but it's just surprising to me. I thought with the guys that they had that they would still be able to run a competent offense, but to go from like absolutely pitiful without Julio Jones to being an elite level quarterback in terms of fantasy with him, I'll take him. For running backs, I don't know if they missed the boat or they just don't watch our podcast, but I've been talking about Justin Jackson for a while in terms of being the number one running back in the Chargers. And the fact that he's only 4,900, actually, Josh Kelly is more money than Justin Jackson. And I don't know why. Justin Jackson outplayed him and outsnapped him and outcarried him in every aspect of the game. So I'm taking him against Jacksonville, 4,900. And let me get McKinnon against New England for 5,800. I thought the price was right for a guy that's basically with Moser out. We'll see what McKinnon has. So give me McKinnon there. Wide receivers, obviously, I'm always going to pair my quarterback with a wide receiver. So I'm taking Calvin Ridley at 7,300. With the amount of attention on Julio Jones, and Julio Jones, I know he scored 2 touchdowns last week, but he doesn't really usually score touchdowns. Give me Calvin Ridley to smash. I'm taking Cooks against Green Bay for 5,200. I think the Jair Alexander, I think that a good cornerback will take out a good wide receiver, and Will Fuller has been absolutely wonderful. I mean, I have him on multiple fantasy teams, and he's been an absolute smash. At the round that I took him in, but he's got Jair Alexander, and he's pretty good. So I could see him shutting him down, and that leaves only a handful of guys that could be catching passes for Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. So I'm thinking, and Allen Robinson against the Rams. Obviously, I mean Nick Foles hits him nonstop. I mean 5 catches minimum with Nick Foles there, multiple touchdowns. So give me Allen Robinson there. I'm going with your boy Gronk. He looks like over the last couple of weeks at tight end. He looks like after the last couple of weeks, I don't know if maybe he was just rusty or, they really truly don't target. Bruce Arians said they truly don't target tight ends, but I feel like since he made that comment, they've been targeting Gronk and hitting him. And he almost had a second touchdown just last week. So I like Gronk in the game, and give me Mixon at 6,300 in my flex spot. He had a pretty decent game against Cleveland, but I feel like he could take advantage of Cleveland not playing so well right now and being really banged up. So give me Mixon in a flex spot. Sorry, that's harder to say than I thought. And I'm taking Washington for defense, and I know they're playing Dallas. I mean, I'm not taking the best defense, but I'm taking a defense that's going to, manipulate turnovers, and they certainly manipulated turnovers against the Giants. And then that one turnover was really impressive in the red zone. So it looks like Sir has a couple of the same picks as me because he keeps smiling. So, Sir, we'll jump to you. What do you got in your picks?
All right, I'm going to run through this. All right, so at quarterback, I went Justin Herbert at 6,400 against Jacksonville. He's been averaging 24 points the last couple games. I feel like he's against Jacksonville's defense, a little suspect. I figure he's been balling out. Give me him, Justin Herbert. At running back, let me give Kamara at 7,900 against the Panthers. Panthers aren't very good against running backs. Alvin Kamara's a monster, so give me him. Also, again, let me get Joe Mixon also, as you said, 6,300. I like the matchup. He's been getting a lot of touches, but keep an eye on his status. He's a little banged up, but if he plays, put him in the lineup. At receiver, to pair with Herbert, give me cousin Keenan Allen, 6,200 against the Jaguars. When Herbert throws the ball, he's looking Allen's way. Simple as that. It's a nice connection they got going there. Receiver 2, give me scary Terry McLaurin, 5,800. It's simple. They're playing the Cowboys. I want parts of the other offense playing that defense. So give me scary Terry at 5,800. Wide receiver 3, I'm going to go DK Metcalf at 7,200. Russ has been cooking, as they say. Let Russ cook. And he's been throwing to DK and Lockett. So let me get a part of that action. I'll take DK. At tight end, my dart throw. Noah Fant didn't play last game, and this dude had 6 targets. I'm probably going to butcher his name, but give me Albert Akubu Bunham at 25.
God bless you.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me, I had a little cold. You know what I'm saying? 2,500. Hey, I'm just hoping for something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I paid him for a bunch. Whatever. At the flex, I went the same thing as you, Nick. I went Justin Jackson at 4,900 against the Jaguars. I like the matchup, and he seems to be the lead dog without Eckler. And the defense, I went with the football team against the Cowboys. Andy Dalton, Red Rifle, Red Rooster, whatever you want to call him. Red Rocket.
Red Rooster.
give me them all. 2,500. Give me the Redskins or the football team. And first of all, I want to see y'all try to pronounce that dude's name. Tight end from the Broncos.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
You got me already. It's all right. Albert. Oh, let's get it.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair team. That's a fair team. Tim,
look up his name and try to say it.
Who is he?
I am. I'm looking.
The Broncos.
I'm currently looking it up while Tim makes his picks, and then I'll try to say
I'm tearing up. You gotta give me a second. Oh, that's funny. That tickled me so hard. That's fucking funny as shit. Oh, man. Oh. All right, so one thing we have been doing is following who's been winning these weeks as well. I think we should I think we need to put a double shot on who wins the DFS lineups as well. Because, Sir's not good at picking the bets, but Sir has been doing – I got to give him credit. Sir has been doing well in the DFS. I think he beat me by less than a point the past 2 weeks, which is very upsetting.
A win is a win, fam. A win is a win. Don't matter.
I hear you, but if it's just between me and you, I'm taking you on this week. I like my lineup.
I bet. We'll put a shot on it. Let's go.
Bet factual.
this might be the worst name of all
time. There we
time.
go, Big Lex. Thank you, Nick. All right, go ahead.
I don't know if you could see it. Look at the amount of letters in that name.
It's Okwig Boonham. It's not that hard.
Shut up, Latch. It is hard. It's the worst name of all time.
Okwig Boonham.
God bless you. My lineup, DFS. We'll go Matty Stafford against Atlanta. I'm going to pick anyone against Atlanta because they can't cover me, you, or Sir.
Hold on. Tough to guard, you know what I'm saying?
6,500. Yes, 6,500. That refrigerator Perry look you got going on right now is pretty good, old boy.
He runs a mean green pass.
For my two running backs, I got J.D. McKissick against Dallas, 4,600. Another defense that can't stop nobody. My running back two, Swift from Atlanta. Swift from Detroit against Atlanta, 5,400. Had a great game. He's establishing himself as the number one. 5,400 is pretty cheap. Throw him in the lineup. DeAndre Hopkins, no one can cover him. $8,200. Put him in the lineup. Seattle's worst part is their defense. They're going to need to put up points to match him. It's a solid pick. Stephon Diggs against my boys. We can't cover no one either. I'm just going to bet against the bad defenses and just go from there. $7,000. I got Scary Terry McLaurin, 5,800 to round out my wide receiver core. Same reasons that Nick said. It's Dallas defense.
I said it.
Or you said, whatever. Y'all look alike anyway. I'm on my small screen. It's crazy. It's a small screen. I got it on my fucking phone today, all right? To pair with Stafford as a receiving core, give me T.J. Hawkinson at the tight end, $5,000. The Atlanta, we said it all. Don't need to say it again. And in my flex, I'm actually going with Mike Williams against Jacksonville. I'm not sure that Cousin Keenan is going to be healthy. I know he left last game with a back injury. He's got, I think they had a bye, so he's got a little bit of time to recover. We're not entirely sure.
The coach said he'll be all right. So
okay, and we're getting interrupted. Get over there. Yeah, I don't believe anything that coaches say. You could just listen to Latch's coach about, all the shit that he's been spewing. Ronald Jones isn't the running back. He's the running back. They're not targeting the tight end. They target the tight end. Coaches say what they're forced to say. And my defense, I'm going to go with the Brownies against Cincy. It's a division game, rookie quarterback. It's going to be close. He's prone to turn the ball over at least once a game. $2,800, pretty cheap. Throw him in the lineup. That's my team, sir. Get a double shot of Rumple ready for next week.
all right. So when I win, you gonna do a double shot of Henny? Bet good.
Ugh,
Yeah, sounds great.
that's terrible.
All right,
Latch,
so I dove into this. This is my first real foray into doing this because, like I said, I was having issues. I can't get money into these accounts. But I went Kyler Murray for 7,100. I think the Seattle-Arizona game is going to be a shootout. We will talk later, but I love that over as well. Running backs, I went Singletary for 5,800. He'll be salting that game away the whole second half against the Jets. And then Antonio Gibson for 5,000. Hopefully he'll rack up a bunch of big garbage plays like we saw happen in the Cowboys yesterday. And then went with Julio Jones as my first receiver at 7,100. Chenault for 4,500. And Rashad Perriman for 3,700. Hopefully they'll be chucking the ball up at the end of that game. Agree with Timmy. I went with Hawkinson against Atlanta. They're terrible against tight ends. I think that game is going to end up being a shootout too. Through Kareem Hunt in it as my flex at 6,800. Hopefully they'll get a big lead and they'll just be running the ball late. And then the Bills are either going to sack Flacco 12 times or pick off Sam 11 times. And either way, I'm going to get a ton of points at 4,700. And Timmy, when we link up, I want to actually put this in for money since popping my cherry. We might as well see if I have some beginner's luck.
That's fantastic.
All right. Good stuff, man. Going into the parlay picks, did anybody hit their parlay last week?
I got fucked.
Nope.
They pulled goddamn Cleveland's fucking QB.
Baker.
Baker. They fucking pulled him in the second half. All I needed was 3 scores in the second half. Big Ben got me 2. Goddamn Cleveland got me none. So I lost that. And then the extra point that should have been, they went for the win. And screwed me on that over, but my best bet hit and the third part hit, but oh well.
All right. Well, I'm not going to start because my dog is crying to be let out, so I'm going to step away real quick. But Latch, start with your parlay. What do you got?
So we do 3 teams?
Yep. Either 3 teams or 3 over-unders, whatever your 3
yeah,
bets.
three bets. All right, Philly, Buffalo, and I think Kansas City is the way. Philly, Buffalo, Kansas City is my 3.
Yeah, I went Green Bay minus 3.5 against Houston. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come up for revenge. He didn't look too good last week, so I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh, Tennessee over 51.5. Both these teams can score. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure they're both in the top 5 of scoring. So, and give me Tom Brady. Give me 2.5. Tampa Bay minus 2.5 against the Raiders.
Sir.
What's up, Pimpin?
You want to know the last time we agreed on 2 games? We both hit our parlay.
Money. You heard me?
Money in the bank. Pittsburgh, Tennessee over. Tampa Bay minus 2.5. And fly, Eagles fly on the road to fucking money. Give me that parlay plus 586. Take it to the bank. Hey, you'll know on Thursday if you win. And guess what? If I fuck up the Thursday pick, you can put those 2 teams in a 2-teamer.
With Buffalo.
Do whatever you want. With whoever. Yeah. Anyone against the Jets. Go ahead. It's fine.
For mine, I'm going with some picks that defy logic in terms of who the teams are, but make sense in terms of historical accuracy. And I'm taking Jacksonville plus 8 against the Chargers, and I understand why that would be a head-scratching pick, but the fact of the matter is no team in the NFL matches yards per play to their competition like the Chargers do. They match yards per play against every single team that they play. They play to their competition. And I think the Chargers are going to win the game. And I know it means I have to bet Jacksonville, but the game will cover the 8 points. I'm taking Jacksonville plus 8, just based on the fact that the Chargers match up with whoever they play. They play to their competition. I'm taking Carolina plus 7.5 against the Saints. I don't think the Saints are an elite level team, and the Carolina Panthers were favored last week. So clearly Vegas doesn't think that they're a terrible team. I understand who they were playing and why they were favored, but they're not a bad team. And as much as I've shit-talked their defense really hasn't been playing bad as of late. And I'm getting 7.5 points for taking Carolina. So give me Carolina as my second team. Third game was a little bit tricky to pick. I really wanted to pick Detroit, getting 2.5 against Atlanta, because I've been high on Detroit for the last couple of weeks. I mean, I picked them against Arizona and they hit. I don't think they're as bad a team as people think, but I'm going to go with Seattle laying 3.5 against Arizona, who I just do not think is a very good team. And I've mentioned it for a couple of weeks now. Like I said, I picked Detroit against them. I understand the Kyler Murray hype. And I'm not even saying that it couldn't be a high-scoring game, but Seattle's on another planet right now. They are a legitimate good team. I think when it comes to like Kenyon Drake and some of the guys who I think were buy lows for a while, the door's shut on that after last week. I mean, Kenyon Drake looks like he's playing pretty well. Outplayed Chase Edmonds last week. Unfortunately, I had Chase Edmonds going in a couple fantasy leagues, but I just don't think Arizona's a good team at the end of the day. I'm taking Seattle. I'm laying 3.5. I think they'll beat them by more than a touchdown, so I think I'm good there. And that's my 3-team parlay. Before wrapping up, everybody made their picks, right? I know I stepped away to let the dog out, but
Yep.
All right. Before we make our best bets of the week, guys, as always, we appreciate all the support. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Do all that good stuff. At True Exact Radio, TRUEXACT Radio, on YouTube, coming out Wednesday, on iTunes coming out Thursday. We are Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets at SBFS Show. Before we get into it, thank you, Latch, for being a part of the show this week. We had a lot of fun. Anything more before we do our best bets?
It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. I mean, it's almost as good as the trip I should be on right now.
It's better. It's better, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. You could have hit up
Sir,
with
depends on what's
Universal
for dinner
Disney.
tomorrow.
It's a lot cheaper. This one.
Guys, what are your best bets, sir? We'll start with you.
I'll go over Pittsburgh, Tennessee, 51.5.
Tim?
Give me the Eagles fly -4. Take it to the bank. Sorry, old boy. Take
Friday,
it to the
y'all
bank.
look silly, boy.
Hey, and remember, put that goddamn $25 free bet in. Just pick my damn parlay. Just copy what I'm doing. Just send it back to me. You'll be entered. Promise.
Latch, what do you got?
I'm going the easy route. Buffalo is going to smash the Jets. Absolutely smash the Jets. But real quick to chime in, if anyone wants to do something crazy, the teaser possibilities for this weekend are insane. So, like a super teaser of Philly, the Philly under, Buffalo, KC, the Seattle over is a really nice payout, and it seems like they're all gimmies when you swing all those lines 6 points or 6.5 points in a direction. So when you guys are doing some research later, check that out because I really like this week. Usually that means I'm going to lose a lot of money, but I do really like this week.
All right. My best bet of the week is going to be Jacksonville, +8 against the Chargers. I can't beat the drum enough at the Chargers playing to their competition and give me give me Keenan Allen, give me Laviska Shenault, whatever his name is. Give me those two guys to score touchdowns in this game. Anything else? All right, from Sir, from Tim, from Latch, and from myself, good luck, everybody.
It's been a pleasure.